Yo, what's going on, guys? Ankith here. Welcome back to the channel. And we got another war today against a alliance called Wakanda. So I remember these guys going up against SGA and they banned Kingpin. So before we actually entered the war, we didn't know who we were facing. It was either going to be Wakanda. I don't know if Wakanda was one of the two or one of the three. I know Black was one. I know, yeah, maybe Wakanda was one. And there was a third one that I've never heard of. But they didn't ban Kingpin. However, we got very lucky in BG2 because BG1 and BG3 they both don't have a hazard shift. Like they don't have a hazard shift mini boss, which means that they were definitely going to struggle. In fact, BG3 had a rank 4 Rintrah, and the Kingpin timed out. Rintrah was like 610, 12k, something like that HP, and he was left with 150k. Granted, he didn't have the read pre-fights on him, like especially debuff Siphoner, which we're going to talk a lot about in this video in a bit. And I don't think he also had the 15% white max pre-fight because, you know, it's not much, but at least it gives you something. Plus, Rintrah was playing pretty terrible, so yeah, like he was quite passive. So yeah, those guys, or rather BG3, even, I mean, the guy had a rank 4 Kingpin as well. So yeah, that made quite a bit of a difference. My ward today had, I think, 12 fights, and I wasn't really worried about any of them. I did have one guy run pre-fights for me at the mini boss island, but if there was any fight that I thought I could have been like had an issue with, rather, that would be the King Groot on Conflictor, but it went pretty easy, and we'll get to that when we're there. Right over here I'm facing Powersnack Mysterio, and I've taken him a lot of times. He's pretty easy. The strategy here is to just push him to SB2 because SB2 places a debuff on you, and you know, you're just gonna get rid of it. But I don't know, at some point I try to be cheeky, and what I try to do is I try to get rid of my dexterity buff while the power lock is on, and that messed up a lot of my rotation. So right over here I was a bit scared, but then I thought that, okay, let me just throw my SB1 in case he gets to his SB3. But he didn't get to his SB3, and I was pretty lucky over there. So, you know, the fight is going pretty well, and that point where I make a mistake is right towards the end. Now you can see I'm getting a little bit cornered. I should have like started hitting his block to push him towards his side of the screen or the map. But yeah, I was also trying to make sure I bait his SB2s only. But then he kept on throwing SB1 so freely. So this was a part. So, you know, everything is going okay. It's still fine. And I'm like, not a big deal. I dex that one, not bad, and then I eat a heavy attack, 20k, thank you very much. And then I cannot actually, I mean, I can hit him, but it's gonna put him at just under SP3. It's gonna get rid of my buff, and it's just gonna be kind of a bad time. So finally over here he threw a SP2. I managed to clear him, and I think everything went pretty much okay right after this point, or right from this point. So just a couple of or 3 potions that I used, kind of a waste, but yeah. Then we had a rank 4 Overseer over here. I think I only had rank 4 Overseer, and I think rank 4 Doom Boss. That's it. Those were the only rank 4s I had this war, which is pretty, I mean, it's indicative of the alliance that we're fighting. They're not at the masters level as well. They're pretty much at our level, maybe a little bit lower, or maybe, I mean, in terms of champion rating and that stuff, and like rank 4 defenders. So yeah, I wasn't really surprised that we don't have that many rank 4 fights. And Overseer here, I mean, I don't know where you would place Overseer on defense. I just think he is a far better attacker. And this placement is a pretty big waste because you can use him in so many fights offensively that placing a rank 4 on defense is like a huge missed opportunity. But anyways, I'm not deciding that, so that's not really my problem. We got the Rintrah over here. He's unduped, rank 3. Pretty easy fight. I think he was around 210k HP or something, because it's only a rank 3 and it's a path fight. Maybe he was 180k. I don't remember. But yeah, he has quite a big health pool. Not much really to say. Just punishes heavy or punishes special 1. I get clipped over there, but Rintrah doesn't really hit hard. The only time he hits hard is on his SP2. That too if you have a lot of ruptures. So this doesn't really matter, you know, whatever he's doing over here. So yeah, he goes down, and then you're gonna see that somebody placed a rank 3 Sentinel over here, and I'm like, what? Excuse me? Sentinel? Really? Who even uses Sentinel on defense anymore? I don't know what they were thinking. Like, how can he trip you up and, you know, get a kill? I just don't know how. But for me, it was perfect because I could just push him to his max analysis and then just, you know, block his SP1s. Those are just going to place a lot of debuffs on me. I mean, in case any one of them doesn't shrug, that's like double the willpower healing. So, and then I don't even need to crit because I can just do my SP1s and, you know, they're going to take care of the damage that I might be missing out on without, you know, being able to crit. So, yeah, pretty bad placement, like pretty bad defender overall, in fact. Then we go here to Killmonger. He was only sig 20, and I wanted to make sure I don't mess up this time. Dude, I can't forget. That was like one of the stupidest deaths I've ever given. I just ate his SP2 like a pretty big scrub. So yeah, I think like I do take a lot of, like not a lot, but a bit of chip damage. I think 15% HP, but that's not really too much for Kingpin. He's just going to heal most of it back. I just decided to go for SP2s here, which is, I think, probably or definitely the right call. And yeah, we come out at 92% HP. That's pretty much perfect. Alright, then I was just waiting here for the pre-fight. I wanted a Petrify, so I had the guy running alongside me who had Reed and White Magneto, so he had all of the debuffs available. He placed a pre-fight over here of Reed, and I think he also placed a White Mags, which, you know, of course doesn't really give me any passive stuns or whatever, but it at least gives me 15% extra attack, which is, you know, always good. So the plan here with and somehow I missed over there, but then he came in and tried to hit me. Didn't really do too much, and then I lost my my Reed pre-fight as well. So I wasn't really too worried at this point. I just wanted to make sure that I keep up at least one SP1 degen. I can easily tank his SP3 in case he doesn't throw it, but as you can see, I just have him locked in the corner and there's nothing he can do right over here. And then over there, I thought I had my light intercept, but, you know, I think his recovery was better, or maybe I was late. I don't exactly know what happened. But yeah, that's pretty much the Hyperion fight. There's nothing really difficult about him here. I think he is a better defender on the EMP modification node. Here he was pretty simple. Alright, and then, yeah, so I got this White Max pre-fight as well on King Groot. And yeah, I just made sure of that over there. And I was a little bit worried about this, but I wasn't too worried because I saw one of my BG mates who takes King Groot on Safeguard. He said that he almost timed out. There I just like ran into it, not purposely, but I thought that his special was over. Yeah. So my BG mate took King Groot once on Safeguard, or like a few times he takes him, and he said that one time it was quite difficult because he almost timed out. Then I looked at it and I thought, yeah, maybe I think I can do better because Safeguard is really an issue for him over there. Plus, he's unblockable for like half of the fight, so you can't really parry and all that stuff reliably. Also, he doesn't really run Sinister Synergy. Not that it would do anything for King Groot, but still. So over here, when I was like entering this fight, or even at this point, I was like, this thing is going pretty well. There's nothing really to worry about. A couple of times I knock him down when he has his Fury, so even if he gets that debuff, he's just gonna shrug it off. King Groot, he may sound like a good defender for Conduit, but he really isn't, because any other place where you can parry him, or even over here if you can parry him with a Metal or Hero, you just knock him down when he has Furies and he is just gonna shrug it off. So kind of beats the point to me, at least. So going in here, I definitely knew that this fight would be at least a 2-minute long fight, and I was like, okay, if this fight actually gets closer to a minute, like a minute left, I'm just gonna go for SP3s because that's gonna do quite a lot of damage onto him. But really didn't get there. It was pretty simple, straightforward. Just a fair, not a long fight, but higher than average or longer than average fight. And then I had a rank 3 Mangog, and I was gonna pop an invulnerability boost just because I could use that on Mangog and the Doom boss. So what I decided to do is I decided to ask my BG mate to throw a Petrify and a Power Suppression on Mangog, which meant that he still had one Reed pre-fight left and one White Magneto pre-fight. And the main idea here is, just follow what I did in the last war. Get him down. He's not really going to be a huge pain. And the reason why I didn't pop the Reed pre-fight or the debuff Siphoner on Mangog is because I knew he wasn't going to be an issue. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to see if that debuff Siphon, if that pre-fight actually makes a noticeable difference. And you're going to see like a huge difference. So over here, we're taking for like 538 or something, which means 1,000 or like let's say 1.1k rounded. And right over there, I let my pre-fights fall off because it was better in this sense. I don't really take a parry. I should parry. Oh, that's actually better. So I got 7 debuffs. Let's see how much I'm taking for. So that's 530 and 680 something, 650. Let's just say that is 1200. That means I'm doing 2.4k per tick, right? And that 2.4k is without the Reed's pre-fight debuff Siphon. You're gonna see a massive difference when I do that versus Doom boss. Like, that is so noticeable. The damage increase, it's insane. So that was like 650 and 7, let's say 7 and 7. So that was 1.4k per tick. So that was like 2.8k per tick max. That's max damage. Also note that I'm not really boosted to the top because I've done this fight a lot of times. Like attack boost, I was boosted health and the regular champion boost. So yeah, going in here, my main goal is to make sure I keep that Reed pre-fight up. And the difference already is noticeable. Like, I'm doing 950 per tick, given that there is also hazard shift, but that node is just going to be ignored for half of the time, and then another third of the time it's going to be it's not gonna proc that much because we're gonna have like 65% at least once, or at least for the whole fight, and 130% reduction for the times when I have 2 SP1 degens active. Like only a minute has gone by, and this Doom is almost at 60% HP. This is a rank 4 Doom. I was like, damn, this read debuff is actually making a noticeable difference. So let's count the numbers. Just before the other SP1 degen fell off, I was doing like 900, and this one is ticking for 1.1k. So I was doing 2k per tick or 4k per second damage over time. That is nuts. 4k per second is extremely high damage over time, and you can keep it up. Okay, of course you cannot keep up 4k per second. You may just have like 4k per second for 20% of the fight. I won't say like even half. You're not gonna have it for half of the fight unless he's like very aggressive. But you're gonna have that for like I would even say 25% of the fight. Like 2 minutes in, he's almost dead. And the fastest I've heard of is from Quicksilver, which is like 90 seconds or something with a 565. But of course, Quicksilver is like broken. The next fastest was Omega Sentinel, 1 minute 55 seconds. So read pre-fight, don't sleep on it. Very, very useful. That is going to be it for this war. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about this, and I'll catch you next time.